Today we're starting chapter 4.7. We're going to be dealing with discriminant today. So this is a precursor into the rest of chapter 4.7, which is quadratic formula. But I'd like to break it up into two different parts so it's not a whole bunch of information all at once. Okay, so we're going to start with a quadratic, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, which should look familiar from when we were factoring. And the discriminant is part of the quadratic formula whose value determines the types of solutions you will have. So this is the first thing you need to write down. Discriminant equals b squared minus 4ac. b squared minus 4ac. You're going to have that memorized pretty quickly because we're going to be using it a lot. So b squared minus 4ac. Now these next three parts are very important as well, so those also need to be written down. Okay, if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, then you're going to have two real solutions. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then you will have one real solution. And if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, so in other words a negative number, then you will have no real solutions. So we're going to go through some examples here. You're going to be using that formula, and then you're going to state how many solutions there are. So go ahead and finish writing this stuff down, and then we'll move to the next example. And this is all that information summarized. Okay, first example, I have negative 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 equals 0. So I have to find the discriminant and then determine how many solutions I have. So we're going to write out our a, b, and c. A is negative 2, b is negative 3, and c is 5. So I got those from here. Okay, and then the formula I'm using is b squared minus 4ac. So I need to plug in, whenever you plug in negative numbers, they need to be in parentheses. So negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 2 times 5. Okay, and you can actually plug that right into your calculator. You don't need to show the steps or anything. Usually when we do that, we tend to mess up. Okay, and then we got 49. So when you plug it into your calculator, wherever there's a parenthesis in my writing, that there needs to be a parenthesis in your calculator. If you did not get 49, then that means you plugged it in incorrectly and you need to try it again. Okay, now the second part of this is to determine how many solutions we have. So is 49 bigger than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0? Okay, it's bigger than 0, so that means I have two real solutions. So both of those are my answer to this first problem. Okay, next one I've got negative 4x squared plus 20x minus 25 equals 0. So first thing, I need to write out my values, negative 4, 20, and negative 25. Remember my formula, b squared minus 4ac. Now I need to plug in 20 squared minus 4 times negative 4 times negative 25. And now we need to plug in and I got 0. So you should be trying this on your calculator along with me. If you didn't get 0, then that means you did something wrong. Make sure that you put parentheses everywhere where I have parentheses. Now we need to talk about how many solutions. Is 0 greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0? 0 is equal to 0, so that means I have one real solution. Okay, next one, 4x squared plus 3x equals 5. So something right off the bat I recognize is that this isn't set equal to 0, and that's because the 5 is on the wrong side of the equation. So that means I need to move it over to the left-hand side. So this is a positive 5 here, so that means I need to subtract. So I'm going to have 4x squared plus 3x minus 5 equals 0. Now I can go ahead and write out my A, B, and C. A is 4, B is 3, C is -5. And there's my formula again. So I've got 3 squared minus 4 times 4 times -5. Carefully plug this into my calculator here. And I got 89. Okay, is 89 bigger than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0? It's bigger than, so that means I have 2 real solutions. All right, next one, I've got 4x times x plus 1 equals 7. So definitely right off the bat, I recognize that this is not in the right format. So first thing I'm going to do is take care of these parentheses here. So I need to distribute 4x. So 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 1 is 4x. And then I've still got the 7 on the wrong side, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. 4x squared plus 4x minus 7 equals 0. Now I'm good to go. A is 4, B is 4, and C is -7. My formula is b squared minus 4ac. So I've got 4 squared minus 4 times -7. Plug that into my calculator. And I got 128. Okay, is 128 bigger than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0? It's bigger than. So that means I have 2 real solutions. Okay, you can find your homework and practice for this week on Google Classroom.